Hello everybody and welcome to the Team Venom Comics Top 5. This week I'm going to be doing my top 10 versions of the Avengers and their lineups and such. So in at number 5 I'm going to go with a more recent one, which is Savage Avengers, and as you can see from the cover, that initial lineup is pretty damn awesome. We've got Dr. Voodoo, the Punisher, Elektra, Venom, Wolverine and Conan, which, you know, that's a really friggin' awesome lineup there. You can't really fault that. The first story is pretty cool. It establishes why Conan's in the main Marvel universe, although essentially the short answer for that is just Secret Wars. But brings in like Cool Graf and all those sorts of characters from the Conan mythos, which is cool. And yeah, it's just awesome. Like loads of giant freaky ass monsters being taken on by some of the most savage Marvel characters out there, and the series is still going. I think they've recently added the Juggernaut to the ranks and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so that's number 5. So number 4 is the current volume of Avengers, and this is the UK printing of it. But the reason I've got this is the UK printings by Panini at the time were done like in this nice little format where there's I've just spoiled number 3, where there's the spine to them, and it also includes 4 issues, so you get 4 issues for a fiver, which you can't really turn your nose up at, especially when it starts from a number 1. But this lineup featured Thor, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Black Panther, She-Hulk, Iron Man, Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange, and it's just a really high quality lineup, some decent stories, and yeah, just generally enjoyable. So that's number 4. Number 3, as I'm sure you just saw when I was showcasing the spine off that UK edition, is the Ultimates, which, while they weren't specifically called the Avengers, it was the ultimate version of the Avengers. And this book in general is just awesome. But we've obviously got Captain America, Iron Man, Wasp, Giant Man and Thor, and also sort of the Hulk, but he's not quite a team member. He's mainly like a protagonist in this. But the first volume, which is the one that I'm showcasing here, is how they all ended up there. They used, because the whole point of the Ultimate Comics was to modernise the superheroes, and this was the properly modernised one. Obviously, you've got the President Bush in there, but Shannon Elizabeth and everything, and yeah, this is the one where we got the first appearance of Nick Fury as looking like Sam Jackson, because as you can see, it's a very close likeness on there. I'm pretty sure there's even a point where they're discussing like them doing a Marvel movie, and they're all talking about it, saying, oh yeah, who could play us, blah 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 blah, and Nick Fury's like, well, Samuel L. Jackson, of course, and all this sort of thing. But this is way before that they even decided to do an Avengers movie or anything like that. This was literally, I think 6 or 7 years before that point. So it's just pretty damn cool that they got that sort of likeness in there. And then, yeah, I mean, one of the awesome things I saw was an interview with Samuel L. Jackson, and he basically said he saw this likeness in the comic, and he says he just like rubbed his hands together and was waiting for the phone call for when he got to play him. So, you know, so that was pretty damn cool as well. So yeah, right. So number 2, this was a difficult decision because number 2 and number 1 are from the same set. These 2 books are part of number 2, but number 2 is the initial lineup of the New Avengers, which took 3 volumes to sort of fill them all out. But essentially, the Avengers had all been disbanded thanks to the Scarlet Witch going apeshit. And we got a new lineup, which, as you can see, consisted of Luke Cage, Spider-Woman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Wolverine, Captain America, and the Sentry, which is just a really cool lineup. And it caught a lot of flack at the time because people were saying that Marvel were trying to copy the Justice League formula of having like most of their big hitters in there. But they also, in around about 2004, Iron Man and Captain America, whilst being on like the Avengers for years, still weren't considered the top guys in Marvel. Like the top guys in Marvel were Spider-Man and the X-Men. So I think people were hoping I think Marvel's editorial were hoping that popularity sort of thing would rub off. And it did, because I was a fan of both Spider-Man and X-Men. Didn't really follow the Avengers up until the New Avengers. So and I picked up the New Avengers because of them putting Wolverine and Spider-Man in there. So, you know, it did its job, didn't it? And I ended up collecting all of them, and it's one that I've still got every volume of. Thoroughly enjoyed the run, and yeah, it's just great. The New Avengers are. So that's my number 2 pick, and it's that lineup, the initial lineup of New Avengers. Number 1, because obviously this is going to tie into that, is a sort of twofer. So this is also the New Avengers, but it's, as you can see, there's 2 sort of lineups here. I think I've got Volume 7 and Volume 10 here. So the lineup in Volume 7 is the post-Civil War lineup of the New Avengers. So Luke Cage, Doctor Strange, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Echo, Ronin, and Iron Fist. And Ronin was Hawkeye, Return from the Grave. And that was a really awesome lineup, but it lasted for 2 volumes because then it was Secret Invasion. And so in Secret Invasion, the same team stuck around, but they ended up with a couple of extra members, which is what you'll see here with this Power graphic novel. So we got Bucky as Captain America could join them because obviously Civil War resulted in the death of Steve Rogers. Yeah, there's lots of post-Secret Invasion stuff in here. Iron Fist sort of leaves the team but also sticks around for this volume, so I'm still counting him as a member at this point. Mockingbird joins them as well, Hawkeye's wife. And there's also a few bits and pieces where, Carol Danvers, who's then still Miss Marvel, hasn't turned into Captain Marvel at this point. She joins them post-Secret Invasion. And yeah, it's pretty cool. The main antagonists in this are Norman Osborn and the Dark Avengers, and then also the Hood and people like that who are working for Norman Osborn. So it's just a really good run. So yeah, and you know, when people are sort of moaning about how the Civil War film didn't follow what happened in the comics, it's because there was such a really good library of stuff that they could have gone from, because obviously there was a few volumes of this, and then we had Secret Invasion, which still saw all the superhumans being registered afterwards, and Norman Osborn getting into power, having his own Dark Avengers, and it went on for years in the comics. Whereas, you know, we just had the Civil War movie, and then the next one was the next one to really flesh any of that out was Infinity War, and that was pretty much the end of the Superhuman Registration Act. So yeah, obviously now we've had Black Widow, which is set after the Civil War, fleshes that out a little bit, but not as much as the comics did. So yeah, anyway, that's my top 5 versions of the Avengers. This was number 1, and yeah, if you liked it, please subscribe. Please let me know in the comments what your top 5 were.